If there were weekend plans floating around, one thing that definitely wasn't on most people's list was buying a ticket to the Melania movie, the film that claims to show one of the most open and historic transitions somehow became the only movie journalists weren't allowed to watch. Millions were poured into flashy marketing, while anyone with a press badge was kept outside. And naturally, the internet wasted no time turning it into a full comedy show. Another exclusive premiere moment even happened at the legendary Four Seasons Total landscaping spot, where a photo was shared of everyone who supposedly saw the movie. The picture was basically empty. And honestly, even free popcorn, cash, and a prime seat wouldn't convince most people to sit through it. Just from the trailer alone, the reviews were already brutal. Despite being dropped into around 1,500 theaters worldwide, the reality was embarrassing. In London, a cinema executive openly admitted ticket sales were weak, with some showings selling just one single seat. Screenshots started spreading of massive theaters like AMC Times Square with rows and rows completely empty. Even local cinemas in London weren't doing any better. All this while, Trump was posting online telling everyone the movie was selling out fast and calling it a must-watch. Veteran film journalist Stephen Gattos from Variety summed it up perfectly, saying the movie's theater run disappeared instantly, like spit hitting a hot griddle. And while that line alone had people laughing, things got even stranger when reports came out that agencies were quietly hiring seat fillers. Craigslist ads in cities like Boston and San Francisco were offering $50 to $75 in cash, plus a free ticket, just to sit in the audience and make theaters look full. But behind the laughter, the numbers were wild. Amazon MGM didn't just buy the documentary. They reportedly handed Melania around $28 million as part of a $40 million deal. Then came another $35 million in marketing, including that massive Vegas Sphere takeover and non-stop ads during playoff games. Altogether, roughly $75 million burned for a documentary that theaters couldn't even fill. To put that in perspective, most top documentaries sell for around $2 million. Meanwhile, blockbuster stars usually make $10 to $12 million per film. Even Jennifer Lawrence's biggest payday was about $20 million. Yet somehow Melania's screen time was valued higher than many Hollywood icons. Then there was the director choice, which raised even more eyebrows. The man behind the camera hadn't made a movie in over a decade and had been pushed out of Hollywood following multiple misconduct allegations. His family connections ran deep in elite circles tied closely to Trump, which is how he ended up becoming the president's personal videographer.
He would like to have a country that all of the people can walk down the street and not to be harassed or murdered or women raped. I think it's very important. And what happened a few years ago, so many criminals came over the border, and he closed the border now a while back already. And we need to take care of our citizens.
Everyone wants safer communities, of course. But hearing that speech while knowing Trump's own history of accusations and court rulings made many people shake their heads. And it only added to the irony that the film promoting these values was directed by someone facing serious allegations himself. Reports even claim that nearly 2/3 of the New York production crew asked to have their names removed from the credits because the environment was so toxic. Around the same time, Trump started appearing publicly wearing a glove, which quickly became another online talking point.
It's very important. You need to be there for a child nonstop, especially when they need you, especially at that age that Baron is. He's an incredible young man. We are very proud of him. Second year in Stern School of Business, and he loves it. And you know, this time it's very different because he's 19 years old, And first time he was 10 years old. He understands politics. He gives advice to his father. We talk about it, so very different.
Hearing about a 19-year-old advising the president on politics instantly sent social media into disbelief. Most people that age are just figuring out life, not shaping national policy. But in this family, apparently, it's part of the routine. And Mr. President, what do you say that those are the facts that Amazon paid $40 million to acquire the rights of the Zuby?
Well, I think they'd have to go and ask President Obama, who got paid a lot of money and hasn't done anything. So I think they probably have to go because if you take a look at others, they've been paid a lot of money. But this is somebody, Melania, who really produced. She's done a great thing. This is a very important piece of work.
The comparison didn't land well. The Obamas released books after leaving office that sold millions because people actually wanted to read them. This situation felt more like selling access while still holding power. Trump's recent releases, a Bible he didn't write, a photo book he didn't caption, and now a documentary emptying theaters, all leaned heavily on branding rather than substance. Behind the scenes, political groups have even been buying books in bulk to push them onto bestseller lists, a tactic known as institutional boosting. And now with theaters, the seat filler strategy appears to be the movie version of the same trick. Not about profits, just about creating the illusion of success for social media photos.
Canada's not doing well. They're doing very poorly. And you can't look at China as the answer. I know China very well. I know President Xi's a friend of mine. I know him very well. But that's a big hurdle to go over when you get Canada. The first thing they're going to do is say you're not allowed to play ice hockey anymore. That's not good. Canada's not going to like that.
While all of that chaos unfolded, something very different was happening north of the border. Canada was actually celebrating a real entertainment success. Prime Minister Mark Carney showed up at an event supporting Canadian film and television where he had a hilarious red carpet moment with actor Hudson Williams from Heated Rivalry.
Okay, now a little bit of a hug. Come on, I love that. Look at me, like right there. Look at you. What's the leg thing? Oh, the leg thing. There. This guy's.
It was lighthearted, fun, and genuinely charming. When photographers suggested a hug, Carney even joked about recreating one of the show's dramatic poses, clearly enjoying the moment instead of running from it.
We've heard how studios south of the border were interested in Jacob's vision, but wanted to, shall we say, tone it down. Yeah, what? What? Exactly. What's the point of that? So Jacob did the right thing. He did the smart thing. He came home to Canada. He came home. He came home to a nation that celebrates what makes us different. He came home to a country that values teamwork over going it alone. Jacob walked away from a bigger budget, a bigger platform, bigger promotional reach. He came for a studio that let him tell his story the way he imagined.
And Fox News, the same network that gave Melania repeated promo spots for this vanity project, still expects to be taken seriously after paying nearly $800 million for spreading false information. And honestly, judging by the empty theaters, most of America felt the same way.